Welcome to SAT and ACT Prep at MEK Review, where we speak in results. I'm Rachel Irwin, and I'm the Director of College Test Prep English.
And I'm Tony Kim, Director of College Test Prep Math.
SAT and ACT Prep at MEK Review is different from anywhere else, with our highly process-driven approach and detailed tracking of highly specific concepts. Our 25-year approach consists of constant reinforcement and maintenance of rigor, so students do not drop the ball at any point in the test prep process. The landscape of college applications and standardized tests has transformed greatly throughout the pandemic, from rampant test cancellations in 2020 to changes in testing requirements by colleges and universities throughout 2020 to now. The SAT and ACT have become what some students and families may see as non-essential. However, something that has not changed is that students applying to the top 20 colleges or universities need to take and do well on the SAT or ACT in order to be a top contender in the competitive applicant pool.
In order to do so, students need to prepare. While the SAT and ACT eventually do cover concepts that are covered in the school classrooms, effective SAT and ACT prep gathers and hones what was learned in the classroom and teaches students how to apply this content through strategies and drills. So to break down that process, students, 1, gather skills and content that they have learned over years and years of school classroom learning. 2, hone these skills to not only strengthen their foundation, but also sharpen their understanding. 3, learn how to apply the skills to a standardized test setting. And 4, learn the strategies to apply knowledge quickly and effectively. At MEK, we break down this process into our class levels. Students gather and hone their skills in SAT core in the 9th or 10th grade, learn how to apply them in SAT foundation, and learn the strategies to apply them quickly and effectively in SAT 1400 and 1500. Then, after this process, students take their first official test and prep for their next official test through SAT 1400 Advanced and SAT 1500 Advanced, designed specifically for students who have taken the official test at least once. The advanced classes prepare students through advanced question drills and simulation tests, sharpening their strategy for accuracy. This process has been proven to work through MEK's 25-year history. Throughout MEK's 25-year history, SAT prep has always been a staple MEK program. It has led countless students to top colleges throughout not only a score, but the long-lasting effects of the SAT prep, from a stronger work ethic to a greater content knowledge foundation to build on at school. Every year of SAT and ACT prep at MEK Review is a culmination of the years before it.
Throughout our history, we have made some great results. Just in 2021, our MEK students achieved an average of 1490 on the official SAT, with an average improvement of 120 points. This improvement was definitely not made overnight. These students invested their time and energy into their test prep, making sure to keep up their rigor throughout the week through studying and additional assignments. Studying and additional assignments means something different for every level of SAT prep. For SAT core students, who need to be introduced to a wider scope of knowledge, we have skill sets and benchmark tests that help them practice and apply the new information they are learning in our MEK classrooms. For students in SAT Foundation, students complete English skill sets and math problem sets targeted to the key content areas that they must master before moving on to test practice. For students in SAT 1400, which students are placed into through the evaluation test, students complete skill sets to sharpen their understanding and learn how to apply what they know in different situations. These skill sets demand students to use a small set of skills in a variety of ways on different question types so that they can experience the different applications of a concept very tangibly. Finally, students in SAT 1500 take benchmark exams, which act as smaller versions of the SAT exam, giving students the exposure to the variety of questions on one given full-length exam and acting as a holistic marker of how ready students are for the official exam. Students who have already taken an official exam take our SAT 1400 or 1500 advanced classes, where they are assigned randomized math problem sets through Canvas, enhancing their agility as they tackle different types of questions in short spurts. For English, students complete benchmark exams to practice their skills more holistically, as well as targeted skill practice to maximize scores in areas of weakness. For students preparing for the ACT, we have two test prep options: private tutoring and the ACT Advanced Group Class. Because we have noticed that ACT progress is best targeted through private tutoring at first, we do not have a group class for first-time test takers. However, for students who have taken the test at least once, we have our ACT Advanced Group Class, which is structured just like the SAT 1400 and 1500 advanced classes, with targeted drills and a higher focus on testing strategy, as opposed to content understanding.
When we give these assignments, we also design the rest of the students' week. This way, students aren't just preparing for the SAT or ACT on the day that they have class, but they are also constantly preparing for the exam and maintaining the rigor of the test prep throughout the rest of the week. During the summer, students have class 3 times a week and practice tests 2 to 3 times a week, giving them a test prep plan for every day of the week. In the fall and spring, students have class 1 to 2 a week, with 1 practice test a week and more assignments to complete during the week to keep students' minds in the test prep for the entire duration of the test prep time. Our SAT and ACT prep specifically targets official test dates to ensure that every student is going into their official exam completely prepared. What we mean by completely prepared is that the students has had at least the minimum number of sessions and practice tests, reached their goal score multiple times, and is feeling confident to reach their goal score on the official exam. In order to do this, we have designed our courses to end the week right before an official exam, targeting 4 official exams throughout the year: March, June, August, and December. But above all this, the basis of MEK test prep is a detailed score report. MEK's SAT and ACT score reports are unlike anything you will find anywhere else. The official SAT distributes the SAT into 3 math objectives and 4 English objectives. But at MEK, we know that those objectives alone are not enough to fully assess a student's ability. So we go deeper into students' skill and ability, identifying anywhere between 2 to 5 specific sub-objectives to most accurately assess students' ability. For example, for the SAT objectives, problem solving and data analysis, we divide this objective into 5 sub-objectives: ratio, proportions and percentages, linear, quadratic, and exponential relationships, simple arithmetic operations, and analysis from graphs, tables, and charts. Using this score report, which students receive each time they take a practice test, we are able to not only identify where they are starting from when they start their test prep, but also identify trends and habits that students need to break and the appropriate approaches to do so. We call this our basis because this is also how we design each session. Our teachers review the score reports of each student to guide how they should shape each session. This way, students receive exactly the lessons and review that they need when they need it.
To summarize our SAT and ACT prep courses, we target different levels of performance and different levels of experience with the appropriate level of care that each student needs. Whether they are an early starter taking SAT Core, a first-time test taker taking SAT Foundation, 1400 or 1500, or an experienced test taker taking SAT 1400, 1500, or ACT Advanced, we have a different teaching approach that fits you. It is possible to move up in level. However, this only happens during a registration term if the student is performing much higher than their peers in the class they are enrolled in. If this is not the case, any changes in level generally occur when students enroll in the next term of SAT prep.
While every student's journey is different, the key number of sessions for any student to see substantial improvement is generally 20 to 24 sessions, which is the minimum enrollment for any SAT prep class. However, if you are just starting your test prep now, we do want to advise that you plan on investing more time. From SAT Core or Foundation to 1500 to SAT Advanced, the process from the first entry to the goal score generally takes a minimum of a year. This is because with any new learning comes a learning curve. And in order to get past the learning curve, you need to invest your time, energy, and willingness. When we tell students this, many feel discouraged or even turn away from SAT prep. To these students, I remind them that the SAT or ACT are no longer requirements. If they don't want to put in the little time into their test prep, they can choose not to take the SAT or ACT. They will get into college anyhow. But if they want to go to the college of their dreams, they will have to put in the corresponding amount of time and energy.
In order to get the full effect, please enroll in the full term of course. We designed the curriculum for the full term. So when students miss out even on one lesson, they are missing out on a lot. However, at the same time, make sure that you do not bite off more than you can chew. You need enough time to review what you've learned in class through homework, practice tests, and other assignments in order to make the most of your test prep. You can estimate the amount of time you'll need outside of class by planning to spend as much time as you spend in class outside of class to really know and understand the material.
SAT and ACT prep is an investment. You need to invest your time, energy, and willingness in order to get anything out of it. But rest assured, once you set out to make this investment, MEK has all the tools to make that investment pay off exponentially. Trust us, we've been doing it for 25 years and counting. We hope to see you in class.